Welcome to The Explainer, where we get right into the big ideas shaping our world. Today, we're talking about consumer AI. You know, that initial chaotic free-for-all? Well, that's pretty much over. The dust is starting to settle, and now we can finally see who's actually winning and what's coming next.
All right, so let's get right into it. Think of the last couple of years in AI as this crazy, Wild West gold rush, right? Everyone was rushing in. Well, those days are over. The landscape is stabilizing. And now we get to see who actually found gold and who was just kicking up dust. So first up, let's talk about the main event. This is the clash of the titans, the battle for chatbot supremacy. And believe me, this is the high-stakes arena where the biggest names in tech are throwing everything they've got at the wall.
In one corner, you've got the one that basically kicked this whole thing off, ChatGPT. It's still the undisputed champ. But in the other corner, you have a whole lineup of serious challengers. We're talking Google, X, Meta, the heavyweights, and they are all hungry for a piece of that pie.
Now, check this out. When we look at the web, ChatGPT's lead is it's massive. Its biggest rival, Google's Gemini, is pulling in only about 12% of its traffic. That's not even a competition, that is a complete and total domination. But then, you look at mobile, and the whole story just flips on its head. Suddenly, it's a real fight. Gemini has nearly half as many users as ChatGPT. So, on our phones, this isn't a blowout. No way. This is a real, honest-to-goodness horse race.
And it's not just a two-horse race, you know? The rest of the field is fascinating. You've got Grok, which just exploded onto the mobile scene, going from 0 to over 20 million users like that. Then there's Meta AI, kind of taking its sweet time, struggling to get a foothold. You've got the quiet, steady climber in Perplexity, and then you see others like DeepSeek that kind of had their moment in the sun and are now fading a bit. It's super dynamic.
Okay, let's shift gears. We're about to pull back the curtain on a trend that, honestly, most people are missing, but it is fundamentally changing the entire global AI market. We're talking about a hidden giant that is making some very loud moves.
So, let me ask you a question. If you were to guess, which country do you think is developing the most top-rated consumer AI apps? Like, if you look at the top 50, where are they coming from? The US? Somewhere in Europe? Well, the answer is probably not what you're thinking.
And here it is, China. A jaw-dropping 44%, that is almost half, of the top 50 mobile AI apps come from China. This is a level of dominance that is just not being talked about enough. It's huge. And look, this is not an accident. It's a really smart two-part strategy. On one hand, they're building amazing apps for their own huge market inside China. But on the other hand, they are exporting tons of apps to the rest of us, especially photo and video tools that are just crushing it on a global scale. All right, time for another big shift. Let's talk about something a little quirky, but it's a trend that's totally changing the game for who can create software. I'm talking about turning an idea in your head into a real app without having to write a single line of code. It's called vibe coding. And yeah, it is literally what it sounds like. You just describe the app you want. You talk about its vibe, the feel, what it should do, and the AI just builds it. It's wild. I mean, the whole process is almost ridiculously simple. Step 1, describe your idea. Step 2, the AI does all the heavy lifting, all the complicated coding stuff. And step 3, you publish it to the world. This is a total game changer for who gets to be a creator. And before you write this off as just some kind of fad, get this, early data is showing that people aren't just trying this and leaving, they're sticking around. They're actually spending more money on these platforms over time, and that, right there, is the ultimate sign that this stuff is providing real, tangible value. Okay, so we've seen the titans battling it out, we've seen these crazy new trends popping up, but through all that chaos, who has actually managed to stay on top? Who are the companies with real staying power? Well, let's meet the AI all-stars. So think about this number, 14. That's it. Out of the hundreds, maybe thousands of AI tools that have launched, only 14 companies have managed to stay on the top 50 web list every single time. This is a very exclusive club. These are the true survivors.
And what's so cool about this list is how diverse it is. We're not just talking about a bunch of ChatGPT clones. You've got companies focused on AI companionship, like Character AI. You've got mind-blowing image generation from Midjourney. You have voice generation, image editing,
even the platforms that host the models themselves. It really shows you the full spread of what AI is being used for. So, when you look at these all-stars, a kind of formula for success starts to emerge. And here's the big secret. You don't actually have to build your own foundational model from scratch. Most of these winners, they're using someone else's tech through APIs. What matters, what really defines a winner, isn't owning the core tech. It's about finding a real problem and using AI to solve it better than anyone else.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the AI landscape has grown up. The Wild West days are gone. The map is basically drawn. So the question isn't really who's going to win anymore. The much more exciting question, the one we should all be asking, is now that we have these incredible, stable, powerful tools, what are we going to build with them? The real age of creation is just getting started.